In a big happy land called Obialo, there was a village named Umokoro. A man named Obiako lived there. His father was a very rich man, so Obiako also had plenty of land and wealth. His land was very big, full of good soil for farming. Because of this, many people in Umokoro respected him. But Obiako was not only a rich man, he was also strong and brave hunter. People from other villages knew about him because he could catch even the biggest animals. They told many stories about how fearless he was. Over the years, Obiako's land and wealth grew even more. He bought more land, not just in Umokoro, but in other villages too. Even though he was rich and important, Obiako was very kind. He loved to help people and never looked down on anyone. Obiako was married to a wise and gentle woman named Olamma. They loved each other very much. Together, they had 4 children: Ebuka, Ifeanyi, Oluchi, and Nnenna. Their family was full of love. Obiako and Olamma taught their children to be kind and to always help each other. People in the village admired their home because it was full of peace and respect. Whenever people had problems, they came to Obiako. He always gave them good advice and everyone listened to him. Among his children, Ebuka and Ifeanyi were very close. They did everything together and always supported each other. One of them made a mistake. They forgave each other and focused on the good things. As they grew older, Ebuka loved farming. He learned how to grow food and take care of crops. Ifeanyi, on the other hand, became a palm wine tapper. He climbed tall trees and collected sweet palm wine. As time passed, they both got married. Ebuka married a kind woman named Adamma, and Ifeanyi married a hardworking woman named Chizoba. Both brothers worked hard, just like their father had taught them. Their family were happy, and they never forgot what Obiako had taught them about kindness and hard work. One day, Ebuka had a big dream. He wanted to make his farm even bigger and grow crops in other villages too. So, he went to his father and said, "Papa, I want the farm in other places too, not just here in Umokoro." After deep thought, Obiako said, "I've observed your dedication and the way you have successfully managed our land in Obialo. There is a vast piece of land I own in Okiwe. I want you to take ownership of it and establish a large-scale farm that integrates both livestock and crops. Think carefully and let me know what you decide." Ebuka listened carefully, feeling both excited and responsible. This was more than he had expected. His father's words carried a vision for growth and expansion that could transform their family legacy. He told his father he would think about it and let him know his decision. Obiako smiled, knowing his son is capable of rising to the challenge. Ebuka turned to his wife, Adamma, as he always did whenever he had an important decision to make. He shared his father's proposal with her, and after careful thought, she wholeheartedly supported the idea. Encouraged by his wife's agreement, Ebuka returned to his father with his response. This will not be an easy task, he admitted. Adamma and I have discussed it at length, and she believes just as I do that expanding our farm beyond Obialo is the right move. We want to stretch our reach, not just into Okiwe, but into neighboring communities as well. It will require time, patience, and sacrifice, but we are willing to put in effort for the future of our family. Obiako listened intensely, nodding in approval. He placed a firm hand on Ebuka's shoulder and said, "You have my support, my son. I have no doubt that you will make something great out of this opportunity." 2 weeks later, the family's joy was cut short when Obiako fell seriously ill. His wife Olamma was filled with sorrow as this condition worsened. Ebuka and Ifeanyi wasted no time in taking him to the village herbalist. After a thorough examination, the herbalist looked at him with sorrowful eyes. "Your father is fading fast," he said. "I fear he may not survive beyond this week." Refusing to accept this fate, Ebuka and Ifeanyi took their father to see another herbalist, but they too confirmed the worst. The news shattered the family. Olamma wept uncontrollably, and her children struggled to come to terms with their father's imminent passing. Despite this pain, they resolved to cherish every moment with him. A few weeks later, Obiako passed away, and the community came together to give him a befitting burial. As tradition demanded, the family observed 6 months of mourning. Determined to honor his father's wishes, Ebuka began to develop the farm in Okigwe. Over the years, it flourished into a thriving and prosperous enterprise. Buyers came from far and wide, including foreign investors eager to partner with him. His success filled his mom with immense pride, and she often wished Obiako were alive to witness their son's achievements. Meanwhile, Ifeanyi became a very known palm wine tapper, attracting customers from nearby villages. But trouble came when insects invaded his palm plantation, destroying his source of income. He lost everything and fell into heavy debt, leaving his family struggling. When Ebuka found out what had happened, he felt sad. He had always told Ifeanyi that it was risky to just have one farmland instead of many smaller ones. But Ifeanyi would always laugh and say, "Brother, there is nothing with putting all my eggs in one basket, as long as nothing happens to the basket." Now, something has happened. Ebuka quickly took action and invited Ifeanyi and his family to his home, which he had built in the village. He believed they could figure out a solution and a way forward together. Adamma welcomed them with open arms, reminding herself that they were family. Whatever Ifeanyi and his family needed, Ebuka would always help without hesitation. He wanted his brother to be happy. One day, Ifeanyi suggested to Ebuka, "Brother, how about I join you to the farm while I'm here? At least I will understand what my brother does." Ebuka thought about it. He knew his brother was not much of a farmer, but he decided to give him a chance, hoping he would learn to love it. So, every day, Ifeanyi followed his brother to the farm to help out. But this made Chizoba, his wife, very angry. She felt her husband was being belittled. She also began convincing her husband that he had equal rights to the Okigwe farm. "After all, it is Papa's land, which belongs to the both of you," she said. Ebuka began to ponder his wife's words. This made him to start taking his brother's generosity for granted. One day, he approached Ebuka and demanded, "How much is the farm in Okigwe worth? I want my share immediately." Ebuka was stunned. "Brother, I don't understand," he said. "The land belonged to our father, yes, but I built the farm with my own sweat. I even ensured you received the full rental value of the land. Why are you asking for a share?" Hoping to resolve this matter peacefully, Ebuka took the issue to their mother. "Mama," he began, "if I want a share of the farm, what should I do?" Olamma sighed deeply. "My sons, do not let property come between you two," she said. "Ebuka, check the current value of the land and give half of the money to your brother to maintain peace." Ebuka complied. He gave Ifeanyi half of the value of the land in money, along with an additional piece of land from their father's inheritance. But this was still not enough for Ifeanyi. Instead of being grateful, his greed only grew. He started feeling entitled to the crops and animals that Ebuka had worked hard for. One day, he went to their mother, Olamma, and said angrily, "Mama, it is clear that Ebuka is your favorite. I am the first son, for crying out loud. How can you allow him to cheat me like this? If you do not take this matter seriously, I will take it to the council of elders." Olamma tried to calm him down. begging him not to take their family matters to the elders. But not wanting to see his mother cry, Ifeanyi promised that he will not go ahead with the plan. But in his heart, he had already made up his mind. Ignoring his mother's wishes, Ifeanyi went ahead and called the council of elders. A meeting was scheduled without delay, and the elders listened carefully as each brother presented their case. After both had spoken, the eldest among them cleared his throat and said, "This matter is simple. Your brother had already compensated you by giving you half of the land's worth. We all know that Obiako never planned to expand his farmland into Okibe. It was his younger son who built it from the ground up. This issue should not have been brought before us." He declared the meeting closed, warning that they should not be summoned for such trivial matter again. Ifeanyi's face darkened with anger. He turned to his uncle, his late father's brother, Okoro, who was seated in the meeting. "Uncle, will you stand by and watch me being cheated like this? What would your late brother say?" he fumed. Okoro shot Ifeanyi an irritated look and snapped, "My brother would be very furious if he sat here and let a stranger cheat his son." Some elders quickly rushed forward, trying to quiet him, but Okoro was far from done. "No," he shouted, "let me tell this little bird who thinks himself as an ostrich the truth. I warned Obiako that this would happen, but my brother was so too kind-hearted." At that moment, Olamma came running towards the gathering, her face filled with panic. She had just heard about the meeting from one of the village men. "You are not my brother's son." Okoro's voice rang out loud and sharp. Olamma immediately fell to her knees, pleading to him to stop. That single act made Ifeanyi's heart sink. He knew in that instance that his uncle was telling the truth. Suddenly, everything made sense. His mother's uncontrollable tears when he insisted on taking the matter to the elders, her hesitation, her sorrow. The elders quickly stepped in, calming the rising tension. Once the gathering settled, one of the elders spoke in a gentle yet firm voice, addressing both Ifeanyi and Ebuka. Few in the community knew the truth. Olamma was pregnant when her late husband died. Then she met Obiako, who fell in love with her and married her despite her condition. But out of love, he chose to raise Ifeanyi as his own son. Immediately, Ifeanyi lowered his head. Shame washed over him. He could not bear to look anyone in the eyes. It dawned on him that everything he had fought for, everything he had claimed as his right, had never truly belonged to him. The farm, the inheritance, even the name he bore, they were all gifts of love, not entitlement. His greed had blinded him to the truth. And now, as he sat in the presence of those who he had betrayed, he felt the weight of his actions crushing him. Shame burned through him like fire, but no apology could undo the damage. He had lost more than land. He has lost his honor, his family's trust, and the only father he had ever known. The end. Ifeanyi's downfall was not because he lacked opportunity, but because of his greed. He was given his fair share, yet he craved more, believing he was entitled to what his brother had built. In the end, he lost not just land, but his honor and family trust. True success comes from hard work, contentment and gratitude, not from envy or entitlement. Like Ifeanyi, we must focus on building, not taking, for wealth without wisdom leads to destruction. Thank you so much for taking your time to listen to this story today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. I truly appreciate your efforts. Until next time, take care and bye-bye.